Okay, so this isn't gonna be strictly gaming related, but it's like nerd shit related. So I'm gonna say it's close enough to fit onto this channel. Um, I I just wanted to express my frustrations with the SCP. What would you even call it? I guess creative writing project. Um. Anyway, I need to get on Adderall. I just stopped like 3 different tangents. Anyway, my frustration with it is that I feel like it's just a worse form of creepypasta. You can basically write fucking anything. Back in the day, there used to be a little bit more of like a concern for like the logistical concerns of a foundation doing whatever, or like obviously your staff is human. They're gonna do stupid shit, but the further you go on into it, the less things like that are taken into account. Um, but that's not really the big issue. The big issue is that what would you call it? The thesis of the SCP Foundation is this is all like research. These are all scientists writing like, papers. And so what do you do when you're trying to make it sound like a paper somebody wrote? You make it sound as boring as fucking possible. You give everything names like A2B-1, which by the way, you would not fucking do that if you were an actual like scientist or whatever, because that's the least distinct name ever. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about when you're talking about O25-AB-2. Nobody fucking knows what that is. You would label it something. You wouldn't. So, for both reasons that it doesn't work in universe and it doesn't work out of universe, like unless it's like a really really memorable one, no one's like, oh, I love that SCP 04-B. Fucking, it's stupid. And so everything's super clinical, and the structure is super clinical, and it's basically like you took a creepypasta, but you gutted the. I'm not a writer, so I don't know the words for these things, but I think it would be called the prose. Like the actual word choice is intentionally fucking shit. The story structure is intentionally shit. If you listen to readings of it, it's intentionally as monotone and bland as possible. Like I'll try to listen to SCP readings, and I literally can't fucking pay attention because they're just so fucking boring. The way they're written is so boring. The SCP structure does not add anything to like 90% of the stories that are written for the SCP Foundation. It's just lazy. It takes out any of the actual like concerns with writing a good story, how you're going to introduce information, all this shit, the characters, which you could use to good effect, but it's written so fucking boring. It just makes everything less memorable, especially if they're like long. Like it's easier to get away with it if it's like a 3-minute story, but if it's like a 40-minute fucking story, dude, it's so fucking unbearable. And that's why so many of them devolve into like here's a log between D class and fucking the researcher, because the D class guy has some actual fucking character and responds like an actual character would. And at least if there's like a dynamic with like the researcher, like they can talk, it's not just like fucking the test 1 results, fucking whatever bullshit. And you can actually like write a story of something happening instead of just like a clinical recounting of a test. It's like if it's a log, then you can just write it like a normal fucking story. At which point, why are we fucking doing this thing? With it, why the fuck is this SCP? It's stupid. It's still just a crutch. It's still just so you don't have to think of a way that this would actually like uh, come up in universe. It's just like, oh, this exists. Someone found out about it. Here's what it is. Here's my idea for a scary monster. Um, I didn't want to write the story, but think of this cool idea. It's like when me and my brother will just toss around, um, like, oh, this would be a cool idea for a game, but then you don't actually make it. It's like that. It's like if I fucking like, it's literally, oh, here would be a cool idea for a story. Oh, do you want to write it? No, I don't. But wouldn't this be a cool idea? Um, Basically, it just sucks. We need to bring creepypasta back. Except it doesn't have to be scary. That's my other issue with it. Is some of the earlier ones they'll have these cool, just little objects that are anomalous. Because that's the point. If they're anomalous, they could do some harm in the wrong hands, but they're not necessarily like monsters or whatever. But all the new ones are just like, it's just, here's the fucking nuclear bomb. Watch out. It's just like a monster that can kill stuff or break reality. And it's just, I'm fine with some of those, but it's like all of them. Like, I'm fine with some of them being like that, but all of them are like that. And the only one that I like this one. There's this one where there's this rock that any little speck of it being in contact with makes you just so demotivated to do anything. And eventually, nobody notices it's there forever because anyone who comes into contact with it just can't be bothered to write about it. Then eventually, they grind it up and use it as a weapon. They drop it over a country, just these little particles. And it eventually creates like a cataclysm because everyone in the world is too demotivated to do fucking anything. And that's interesting. That's not just like a scary monster, I don't, there's not much of a point to me bringing that up. I guess the point is I like that it's just like anomalous, it's not like, an evil monster that wants to break reality. It's just like something with odd properties that you can use maliciously. Um, Anyway, it's almost 12 in the morning, so I'm going to get to bed. I don't know when I'll actually upload this video. Probably tomorrow. We'll see. Bye-bye.